you feel about how Mordor was created?
I don't know. It's I don't know. It's interesting. Like, I guess it makes sense on like the plot that they were doing, like because they were building tunnels.
Yeah.
And it was they didn't explain it until they got the water to flow through all the tunnels to then get to the mountain or to the volcano. I don't know. I think it's a little weird. Like, so they're basically saying that volcano was dormant until they did that, and then it just never stops erupting because it has to constantly give out smoke and plume so that the orcs can live there.
Yeah.
That didn't make a lot of sense to me. But
No. Not at all. I'm wondering, my biggest question is, who the hell are those white people? The people wearing the white.
Oh, the M&M looking dude?
Yeah.
Or lady, whoever it was?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
whoever she's roaming around with, they obviously got a staff that's the Eye of Sauron.
Did they?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was basically shaped like Barad-dûr, where Sauron did his eye.
Okay.
It's like, I want to know who they are.
I don't know.
And I want to know who the heck that stranger dude is.
Stranger dude.
The guy who, came
that came in the meteor?
Yeah.
Meteor guy?
I feel like he's a wizard of some sort.
He's gotta be a wizard. It's just what wizard? I really don't want it to be Gandalf.
No.
That would be kind of weird.
Yeah. Plus,
Weird.
didn't he come in, like, the beginning of the Third Age? I
No,
think.
he was around. I guess I don't know. Maybe you're right. I think he did come around in the Third Age.
Can't be one of the blue wizards, which I don't know. It would have been kind of cool if they were gonna like say, hey, here are the blue wizards for the first time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I want to know who he is.
Yeah, they don't explain it yet. Which, I mean, obviously they have to. The next episode is the last one.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the show's set up for 5 seasons, isn't
oh, is it really?
it? Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, 5 seasons so far. That's why it's the most expensive show in the history.
I wonder, do you think they're going to keep doing that, though? I mean, it hasn't had great reviews. So do you think because it hasn't done well enough that they're going to continue, or do you think they're going to scrap it?
I feel like they'll continue because I think, I don't know, my mind goes to, okay, it has to be under contract already.
Yeah, but if they're losing so much money, you might be like, yeah, we're under contract, but we're going to scrap the whole project because, well, we're not going to be putting billions of dollars in it if we're not making any money.
Yeah. I just feel like they'd probably gut it, switch out the writers and stuff like
Almost start anew.
Yeah, try and redeem it.
I'm wondering, do you think that the person that we don't know, that the lady, do you think that they're going to make her Sauron?
I hope not. No
Like,
matter where you look, whenever you read about Sauron, it's a dude.
I mean, I guess, do we know that that's a guy or a girl? I guess
It's a chick. She's got some anatomical identifiers that I noticed.
I mean, I noticed that too, but I don't know, maybe she identifies as a man.
Dang.
I don't know.
It's a possibility. Today's, yeah.
I've been watching, which is really making it hilarious. The deep fakes.
Yeah.
I showed you the one I sent in the group chat like this last week of the Andor with Obi-Wan and Anakin, the deepfake. Did you watch that one on Facebook?
I might not have. It doesn't ring a bell.
So it's basically, you've watched Andor, right?
I've watched. Yeah, I've watched. There's one episode. I need to watch the newest episode.
Yeah,
I'm
only three episodes in. But it's that. And it's basically Cassian when he's young.
Yeah.
And they're all attacking the one dude that's in the center.
Yep.
And they're like hitting him with his darts.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's that scene.
Yeah.
But it's a deep fake of Anakin watching that scene. And he's like, ugh. If I was there, I would just take my lightsaber and be like, doo, 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 doo. And like, he's like, block it. And then it cuts to like Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan's like, yes, Anakin, we know about how you love to slaughter the younglings. That's like Jedi 101 Day 3. Like,
Jedi 101 Day 3.
Like, you know, and so it's a deep fake thing. But a guy has made it with Gandalf reviewing all of the Rings of Power episodes. And so
I've seen those.
Yeah. So it's the Gandalf. He's got like baby Elrond.
Yep.
The last one I watched had Boromir. And those I watch after, and it's absolutely hilarious.
That's awesome.
I can't get enough of it. Just the, like how he speaks, and the deepfake is so perfect.
Yep.
I think the first one I ever saw was a deepfake of Gandalf, and they were talking about the Queen of England.
Yep.
Have you seen that one?
No.
And it was when her husband died, and he's like, "Oh yeah, she's a good-looking girl there," and he's like, "But she's probably married off to somebody." And you're like, "No, she's newly single." He's like, "Newly single?" Like, and he's like, Gandalf's getting all excited about the Queen.
Newly single. But then it's also like, they're not digging because they're getting, at least not right now, they're not because they're greedy, they're trying to save the elves.
Correct. They're doing it in a noble reason.
Yeah. And I don't...
But you gotta remember, who said that? I think that was Sauron who said it, right?
Was it? Yeah, it was Sauron.
It was Sauron.
Yep.
So, is he really telling the truth, or is he just kind of saying what he thinks, but in reality doesn't know the whole story, and just thinks because he doesn't have any dwarven friends, that's why they're just being greedy, but in reality they were doing it for a legit reason.
Possibly.
I'm hoping that they do more with the Balrog in the last couple episodes.
Yeah.
Just because they made it such a big deal in the trailers that the Balrog was going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And it would be kind of a shame if it was just that 5-second clip.
Yeah. Yeah, there has to be more.
But then again, like, I mean, maybe I'm just being too nitpicky with it. But didn't you think it was kind of funny where, like, the dwarves are digging and mining into that tunnel.
Yep.
They had a mine collapse.
Yep.
Reopened the mine, and Durin and Elrond break through. Doesn't wake the Balrog.
Yeah.
A simple little leaf falls, and he's like, "No, you done it. You done it.
That's it. That's it. You done fucked up."
He's like,
Damn,
all right,
hurry
like, you know,
up, dude.
like, you know what? That was too much. You trying to break in, that's fine. littering in my house? How dare they?
How dare you? Yeah, that's weird. I don't know how I feel about the whole like mithril being like the source
Of like a healing property, because they've never. I mean, I guess I
never
don't.
been referenced to it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I don't remember anything ever saying like that's what's helping keep the elves alive or
Yeah.
keeping them pure.
Yeah.
It was just that was another precious gem that the dwarves found, and it just happens to be the strongest material in Middle Earth.
Yeah.
And that's what they just kind of used it as, like armor and weaponry, instead of like it's literally like healing elves.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. It was cool. I was like, dude, that's mithril. That's mithril. Like,
You knew it was.
I knew it. I was
Just by
like,
the look of it and everything. You're like, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I know what that is.
But and there is so much of it, or at least it appears like there's so much of it towards the end of the last episode. We saw like all the veins of it like going down through the mountain.
Yes, but here's the thing. This last week, I rewatched The Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
And in the extended edition, when they're walking through Moria,
Yeah.
Gandalf is like, hey, the precious thing of Moria was not jewels, it wasn't gold, it was mithril.
Yeah.
And then he like lights up his staff a little bit more, and you can see it going all the way down like the mine shaft still. So they still hadn't gotten all of it out, and you can still see in like that scene all of it going way down deep into like the endless mine.
I'll have to go back and rewatch that.
But I will say, I've been enjoying the Rings of Power.
Yeah.
Like I think it's got its problems, but I also think I'm kind of nitpicky because it's Lord of the Rings and it's like my absolute favorite franchise.
Plus, I don't want like a terribly negative experience with
Yeah.
Age of Middle Earth we've never seen before.
Exactly. But I will say, rewatching like The Fellowship, it hammered home to me almost that as much as the Rings of Power is in Middle Earth, it's like it's not Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Only because Galadriel is a completely different person.
Yep.
It's not even like, I mean, you think about it in The Fellowship, she's got a ring of power at that point.
Yep.
She has the ability to reach into people's minds and talk to them,
Yep.
which has not been shown
At
or
all,
talked
yeah.
about at all
Yep.
so far. So then again, I'm not a super knowledgeable person. I don't know the whole story of everything, so I don't know if they've talked about that in like the Silmarillion or other novels where it says something happened and she gained these powers, how she got her wing and everything like that.
Yeah.
And maybe that's coming up in the next 5 seasons that they're making.
Yeah.
But right now it was a large difference.
Yep.
And then the other person obviously was Elrond. So different in the Rings of Power compared to the Fellowship. Like Elrond almost, when they're in Rivendell, he's almost talking, when he's talking to Gandalf, like talking down about the dwarves.
Yeah.
Like he has a disdain for them, which is clearly different than what we're seeing now because one of his best friends is a dwarf.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened, but it's not on par right now.
Yeah. Did you happen to catch after is that she was married to Celeborn.
Yes.
Okay, so is he like secretly not dead or something? Because she said he was dead.
And she said his name.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah, I was very confused about that as well. Because clearly in the Fellowship, dude's alive.
Yeah.
We see him.
Live and kicking.
So, again, it was like, this is weird. Like, what do you mean he's dead? I know he's not dead.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very much hopeful that they will tie it all together and make, a transition that whenever they are done with it, the characters are more closely related to what we're used to being seen.
Or at least a progression towards what we've experienced before. In between. How do you feel about Celebrimbor?
I very much agree with what you said initially. He looks really lame, compared to how we know him from the games.
Yep.
He looks awesome, and he's very much ruthless.
Yeah.
Now he seems, I don't know, he's not that character.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would like to see more of him. Like, I think that his character is really cool, and it'd be cool to see him doing more. And again, maybe they do that because obviously the Celebrimbor, he was the one who created the Rings of Power, correct?
Yep.
And then Sauron created his own to control all the other ones.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to him. Hopefully they show him creating all of the Rings of Power, because that would be really cool to see that process on how everything happened.
When I first saw first couple scenes with him, I was like, this is the first elf I've ever, because when you look at an elf in Lord of the Rings, no matter which one it is, they all look well-rounded. They'd be good at anything. At least good at it. Maybe not
some sort of athletic ability. Not just you look like a guy, but you look like someone who has the agility, the abilities that the elf we know that they have.
Yeah. You can fight. You can
he looks almost frumpy.
Yeah.
And it's
all he's good for. He's like a college professor looking dude.
Yes. We're like, I don't see you going out and going to battle.
Yeah. Plus, whenever anything, when it comes to medicine, foraging, and all that stuff, it's always oh, this is elvish. We need elvish medicine.
Yes.
It encompasses all of them.
Yeah.
And so that kind of gives you that they're all well-rounded. They can at least do this or that. They may not be a master at it, but
they all have a small knowledge of most things.
Yeah. With Celebrimbor in the show, I don't get that. I see a master artist or whatever. But what I think is going to happen is he's going to be the first elf that we get a glimpse of corruption.
Oh.
I
Okay.
feel because when he revealed the plans of I want to create something, but this is what I need to do it.
Yep.
And he was just so fixated on it. So I could see.
But do you think that was part of the deception? Because he knew the real reason that they were pushing Elrond to go to Durin and to get him to mine and to help them is because they wanted the Mithril.
Yeah.
That was their whole the whole purpose. Because he comes out later and it's yes, I knew, and it wasn't my idea to keep it a secret from you, but I knew that this is what we were going for.
Yeah.
So do you think that was a legitimate thing, or do you think that was just his deception to kind of trick Elrond, be I want to build something, but I need this to do it. But in reality, it was, we just want this to save everybody, but I'm just going to make it seem like I'm trying to create something.
So, did I miss something then? Is that why he's building that huge forge?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the forge.
Yeah, because when that
That's
first
right.
scene where we
I
met
forgot
him,
about the forge. Yeah.
I felt like, okay,
You're right. You're right.
I think he's fixated on creating this masterpiece. You know, obviously we know that it's probably the Rings of Power,
Yes.
which
Which is why he needs the massive forge and all of the mithril to do it.
yeah, because
Do you think the rings of power are going to be made from mithril?
I don't know. Then maybe.
Because the thing is, I don't know.
I mean, Mithril's already shown that it's a magical ore. In
It
a way.
is. My thing is, the question I guess I really have is, how do they manipulate it? Because he even said, I've put it under every stress known to us, and it does not diminish.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, how are you shaping it to do whatever? Like, for instance, Bilbo and Frodo's mithril shirt.
Yeah.
How did they take the raw mithril and create it into that if it's such a unbreakable mineral?
I don't know. But the only thing I can think of is obviously bigger the forge, the hotter it can be. I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Maybe with what they currently have, they can't.
He's heating it up so incredibly hot that that's the only forge in the world that can melt mithril to be able to do what they want. That would make sense on how they create rings, perhaps, out of it. Because obviously, like, Sauron put magic and his will into a ring that he created and forged. So there obviously is a way to put mystical elements or magic into objects and into the rings. And yeah, like you said, mithril has already been shown to hold properties that could potentially do it.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I really want to know who Sauron is. I hope we get a glimpse of that. Soon.
Do you think it's the king of the Southlands? Do you think he's gonna get turned?
I don't think so. I've been watching every character, and unless they're like gonna fucking, you know, bring Sauron way out of left field, and it's gonna be, I don't know. I can't see.
Or do you think that new
all the possible people that, you know, everybody out there is like, oh, could Halbrand be Sauron?
Yes, this person is this person.
Could this guy be Sauron? And then watching these characters, how they interact, things they say, what they do, it's like, I can't see Sauron like really genuinely looking like he cares about people or doing good things or whatever. I see it as more, I would think it'd be more like manipulative.
But what about, like, let's say, the potential wizard guy, right? Like, he's showing that he has some sort of magical powers.
Yeah.
But he's like a baby. He doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
He's learning from the Hobbit people.
Yeah.
But they kicked him out.
Yeah.
So now he's going to go towards the race of men.
Yeah.
And what if that corrupts him because he's so new in life? That it corrupts him, people take advantage of him or whatnot, and it turns him into having to do bad things to survive, to the point where he's like, he becomes more conscious and comes up with that, I want to rule these people.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't see that happening.
Okay.
Just from like what I've been reading, Sauron is a true immortal. So his soul, and so even if his body In
both got
essence, he's
defeated,
right
and
here,
then yeah, but Sauron's essence, like you said, stays around and he's looking to come back.
Yeah, because after Morgoth's fall, he fled, I think, to the north.
Okay. I don't know, what about that elf? The evil elf?
Adar, I think he's such a... I think the concept's cool, but he's definitely like a filler character that they had to create to have, you know, because his whole thing, at least from what it sounds like to me, is that he was just some corrupted elf
Yeah.
that still has like a glimmer of light in him, because obviously, you know, his intentions aren't like purely evil. Like, hey,
Well, yeah, he was
these are my
turned.
kids,
he was a captured elf, so at one point he was good.
Yeah. And he just wants to give a home for the orcs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
I mean, you look at it from a very basic point of view, he's really not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
He's, like you said, he's just trying to create a home for what he believes his children are,
Yeah.
who can't go out into the sun. So instead of having them have to be underground, he's created an environment where they can thrive.
Which is... I don't know, the concept's interesting, but I think it's just kind of goofy for what Lord of the Rings is.
Yeah.
Because he also said that from what he said, like when he was talking to Galadriel in the barn there,
Yep.
I felt led down the path to believe that, you know, he, in some way, shape, or form, did something to Sauron. You know? But, like, how? How would you do that?
And how he's trying to bring him back, though.
Is he? Because I feel like he's very focused on just providing a place for the orcs and, like...
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, those are like, that's Sauron's main army.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. Here's another question. Speaking about that, so he takes the hilt, right?
Yep.
And he's on his horse running away. Galadriel,
I know where you're going.
yes, you know, Galadriel is chasing him. Can literally see him
Yep.
the entire time.
Yep.
Where does he get rid of it and then get a fake axe to place
Exactly.
in? How did that happen?
That's what I was wondering. I was like, what?
Because at first, when the kid opened it up and it was just the axe,
Yeah.
and then it cuts to the old man,
Yeah.
and he's got this, you know, the hilt turned into the sword from the blood,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh man, plot twist.
Yeah. Well,
But then it took a second. I was like, well, wait a minute.
how'd you get it?
Yeah, how did he get that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the weird part. But the scene after that where it shows the old dude like activated that also, that was obviously a part of a bigger plan.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just like from what Adar was saying and how that made me feel.
That's
it was
why
like,
I think
how is this happening?
That's why I think that Adar is working for Sauron.
Yeah.
Because obviously that whole area with the hilt, putting it into the rock, you know, having the water coming through,
Yep.
that was set up ages ago.
Yeah.
Things have been grown over. People have forgotten about it. So, and their solution was to dig the trenches and the tunnels to get the water where they needed it to go.
Yeah.
But clearly that is very, very old. It wasn't just like a set up plan. So like that was, I feel like something that might have been set up by Sauron getting ready in preparation, and then he was defeated and it sat around, and somehow he's communicating with Adon to create it again so that the orcs can live, he can build a big army so that when he does come back, he's already got his
Set
orc
ready to
army.
go. Set ready to go. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I still really want to know who those three are in the white.
Yeah.
Because in my mind goes to like, okay, these are people. These three are considered fair looking.
Yes.
Which is how Sauron was described when he went to be with the elves and helped kill the Grimbor.
Yep.
You know, force rings of power, which is why Sauron was able to create the one and have control over the others, because he helped create them.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just really, really want to know, and I got a feeling we'll have to wait until
You have a
the next
feeling of who
season.
you think they are?
Well, I want to know who they are, but I'm leaning towards, just because of like the staff that they had. If you like,
I'll have to
right
rewatch
now,
that.
It's obviously like an eye with the the little U shape.
Yeah.
It's right there in the middle. So